So every once in a while, I go ahead and I do a build, and I'm not quite happy with how it turned out. So I decide to go back and kind of take it apart and redo it, and maybe reuse some of the pieces, but kind of redo a lot of them. And I had done a Mac-10. I showed you a complete video, but you may have noticed I never showed you a demo video, just because I really wasn't happy with it. It was kind of the gray and red one that I had shown. And so I decided I wanted to try something different. And I've been telling you guys, I've got all these M4A1 handguards, which I try to utilize now when I can, because it's just kind of fun to figure out how to incorporate them and to use those instead of printed pieces, since I already have them. Now, the Mac-10 I just gave away in the January contest had one of those, so I didn't want it to look too much like that. I wanted it to be definitely different than that look. And that was a pretty big build that kind of had a frame that went across the front half of it, so did something different than that. And this is what I came up with. So this piece is obviously going to slide directly on here, okay? So this is a little dirty, you can see from me messing with it, but this piece will slide directly on there, and that is where the handguard will mount to. So the handguard is just, you can see it's in pieces in half. We'll just slide directly onto that piece, which I made exactly to spec to fit that. And I did trim off the front outer barrel, and then I kind of rebuilt an outer barrel system in here that's a much thicker one, because this metal inner barrel, this does not come off the T-piece easy. And I was going to go ahead and try to just take that off and put a longer one on it, but it wasn't working out. So instead, we'll just leave that, and we'll just have this nice long, really wide outer barrel in there, so that there's no issue with barrel drag or clearance for the gel balls on the way out. So that piece will just get put back together. It'll slide on there. There is one kind of recessed barrel nut in here where a bolt will go all the way through and all the way through into the bottom of this piece, just to really hold that on securely. And then this area will be covered with this long rail anyway, so you won't see that kind of recessed in bolt there. So I wanted to make sure to cover that up. Then I've got this little grip that'll go on top of that, so this grip will end up being right there, like that, okay? And then the handguard will start here. Further out on the handguard, we'll go ahead with a small grip. Maybe this one. I might use a different one. This was just one I had on hand. Okay. The back, of course, you can see that I've already got the wires coming through here. The harness will go through the buffer tube, and then you'll be able to put your battery in there. So I'll mount this to here. This just slides directly on. You can see it's still taped because it was painted. Slides directly on there so that we have that buffer tube, and that's where we'll put the battery, which has been relocated. And then here's just a small kind of stock, so it's going to kind of have like a CQB vibe. And then for the charge handle, I just liked this look of this one, so that was something I put together. That'll go on there, that'll be mounted on there and then capped off, and of course that will still work great. We do still have a rail that'll go on this side, right? So you can see the heat inserts are on there already, and then a rail will go on the top of this piece, which is kind of just an added mounted piece here, and just add stability because it'll connect to this, and then we'll have that rail up there. I may need to print something to make that look a little nicer. On the front end of the handguard, just kind of a small version of this little kind of rectangle style flash hider. This, of course, needs some more paint. That's why it's still got the metal hook on it. So that's a quick kind of build plan for the Mac-10. This, again, is the GELBOM / GELFIGHT Mac-10 that's sold on Amazon. So check them out. They sell this, the DR12, and the VZ61 Scorpion. All right, so check back, and I will show you the completed product. Of course, then we'll do a demo, and this will likely be something I'll give away in one of the future giveaways too. Comments, questions, post them below. Like, subscribe, share my channel with your friends, participate in those monthly giveaways. Thanks.